I'm just gonna make my eyes really small. Just sit here for a moment. Because that's how I say hello. I wish I was lying, but when I see people and I smile at them, I go, hi! But I love it. I love expressing myself with my eyeballs. Alright, so today is going to be a challenge for me because I'm in a high energy mood and cannot collect my thoughts, but I feel very compelled to share a message. We are here to talk about confidence today, and that is something that this girl has always lacked up until recently. And I, being the very introspective person that I am so happy that I never experienced confidence in my life up until recently because I learned from it. I learned super valuable things, and number one, I learned that you cannot force confidence, and you know that. I mean, you don't study for a test, and you get the papers in front of you, and you're like, I can do this, and you totally can't. Sometimes you surprise yourself, but it's not gonna just magically happen like that. Or somebody tells you to go do a trick or something that you don't, like, just go do this thing, and you're like, I can totally do this thing, and inside you're like, I can't do this thing, and then you're like, I can do this, and then you do that thing, and it's just stupid, and you're embarrassed, and you're like, I knew I couldn't do that thing. Then you just have to deal with all of that. You can't force it. You cannot force confidence. But what I have learned is that you can follow confidence, and you can cultivate it over time. One way this showed up in my life, I took a job mostly because it was for the money, and I hated it. I could not speak to people like they were anything other than like my superiors. I was so afraid to talk to them. I was just so intimidated left and right. I was constantly feeling like I was doing a terrible job because I couldn't force that confidence. I wasn't confident in that area. It was in the tech industry, and I know nothing about technology. I do now, like this much, but but I couldn't force it, and I was there for a year, and that year completely destroyed me and shriveled up even more of any confidence any little bit of confidence that I had. It was just completely gone. But I made the decision to follow what flowed. I followed what I was confident in, and that was my spirituality. That was speaking about personal development. That was doing Reiki, being a spiritual counselor. I mean, I just went on to become a priestess and Reiki master, and that's what I'm doing now, and I absolutely love it. It's somewhere that I feel totally equal with people. I feel I can properly coach them. I was supposed to be a coach in the tech world, and that just wasn't. I couldn't force that confidence. When I wanted to coach people, I came off as arrogant, I came off as a dictator, I came off as like just, it didn't work. It was so forced, and everybody felt it, and it was just ugly. But in this role, also as a coaching figure, I can help people heal. I can have conversations with them. I can push them out of love. I can get them to grow, and I can be completely honest and open, and conversations just flowing, and things are easy. And I look at them as equals, and that's the big thing. Is that's like an indicator for me. I know when I am in a good situation that's flowing and I'm confident in, because I just am relaxed, because I'm a person, they're a person, we're all just people hanging out. Even if it were like President Obama. Hey, you're a dude, I'm a dude, we're all just dudes, whatever. I would know that I was in the right position. However, if I was in something I was forcing, you get the point, you know? Okay, so follow what flows. You know, we all have natural innate abilities when we are born. And when I came out of the womb, I was doing cartwheels, and I went on to become a nationalist gymnast, and that was just easy for me. And now I quit that when I was like 11, and now I took that natural talent that's still in my body, it's still with me, and applied it to rock climbing, and I'm just a naturally decent rock climber as well, and that's where I feel confident, and that's where I can feel I'm in a meditative state, doing that work. It's exercise without realizing it's exercise, and that's an indicator that I'm on the right track. That is a way that my soul is speaking to me and telling me part of what I'm supposed to be doing with my lifetime. So whenever you have anything that you just don't give any thought to, you can just do it naturally, whether that's playing instruments, speaking in front of people, you're really freaking amazing at science. Whatever it is for you that you just do, follow that. And even if you don't like it, just experiment with it. Just get acquainted with that feeling of what it just feels like when you do it without giving any thought. And then you can apply that elsewhere. But make a collection of all of these areas that you know naturally flow for you, because that is going to help you discover your purpose here. And you're going to find something that isn't boring, that you're just good at. It's going to be super fulfilling and exciting and challenging, and you're going to feel confident going and facing that challenge. So look for that. So likewise, you can also cultivate confidence. And this one's so powerful, and people often dismiss it. They just say, I will never be able to do that, and I'm just going to let it there. That's false, okay? I could not sing when I was younger, but it just felt so good, and I just wanted to do it anyway, so I just sang, even if it didn't feel good. And now I can sing well, and I couldn't play instruments, let alone play instruments and sing at the same time, and those are just things that I did, and because I wanted to grow in those areas, even though they were challenging, and I just did them. I do them now. I can do that, and it's cool, and I'm what you don't see is me pointing to my instruments in my room. You can cultivate that confidence, and however you do this. Okay, so you can educate yourself on the topic. If you don't like talking to people, if you don't feel good at speaking with people, educate yourself. There are plenty of videos, just like what you're watching right now. Books. There are so many books I have read on how to interact with people, because I couldn't do it myself. And now I can feel totally fine talking to people, doing embarrassing shit, because I know that I'm a human and they're humans, and we just get it. Just like I was saying earlier. If they have a problem with it, then that's like something for them to deal with, and it's really freeing. It is so freeing, whatever. So educate yourself on that topic. Also practice it. Practice. Get yourself out there. Talk to people. I've had so many awkward encounters of me trying to talk to people. Yeah, I've prepared compliments in my mind for people. I prepared questionnaires for them in my mind, and have actually gone up and tried to have a conversation, but the conversation was already laid out in my head, so I was just asking these questions, and it was an interview. It was a really awkward interview when I was literally just meeting somebody for the first time, and uncomfortable, but worth it. It's not about you, it's not about them, it's not about the embarrassment, it's about growing. It's about growing and cultivating this confidence, and just trusting that with every painful encounter, you will get better. And I promise you that, because I did it. I promise you that, because if you knew anybody in my life, they will tell you how shriveled up of a human being I was and where I am today. How do you cultivate confidence? There was a really good point that I am forgetting right now. And the more there we go. Okay. A third way to do it is just to people watch. I did this. I still do this from a different perspective. And people watching is something we do all the time. But people watch with a purpose. Don't people watch to laugh at people, which is entertaining, sure. But people watch to learn that other people make mistakes too. People watch to see that people trip. That if you trip and fall on your face, it's something funny, and it's something that happens to everybody, and it's not just you. People watch to see how people carry on conversations with each other. Just observe in totally different ways how these things happen. I mean, me learning instruments, I ask to be around my friends when they are practicing, so that I know and I can trust that the way I practice is normal, and I'm not taking too long, or I'm not doing things in a weird way, or I'm not less than in any of that way. I literally ask to see how people practice so that I can feel better about myself if I don't have that confidence yet. And over time, I gain that confidence. Because when you're practicing anything, you're only practicing confidence. That's it. So just go in with that mindset. Look at things as an experiment. Look at things as an experiment. And you're just a scientist, just a social experiment. I don't know. Yeah, it's a lot less daunting when you change your perspective, when you put yourself in situations that allow you to see that you are good at things, when you go to naturally gravitate towards the things that you are good at. Like, just try everything. You got this. Baby steps. Baby steps. I think you're really cool and you don't know it yet if you're checking this out. And you need a little boost. You're human. I'm human. We're both just humans. It's all good. Bye.